In this video, we're going to go through the pipeline panel. We're going to talk about creating custom pipelines, running pipelines, and exporting this data to third-party packages. To get to the pipeline panel, go to the panels and go to pipelines. And you notice there's quite a few options here. First thing I want to point out is the current pipeline. Right now it's set to basic post-processing. I can easily change that to advanced post-processing. In each of these pipelines, you can see it's made up of operations. The first operation of both of these is a reconstruction. In this one, you have then label, reporting gaps, trimming the tails, interpolating the gaps, filtering the data, and then solving the bones. Finally, you can export it to VDF, which is a processed trial version of our data. If I go to basic, you can see many are the same, but we have a lot less. Now, you can add operations to these. If I press add, and I can open up and look through all these operations. Instead of exporting VDF, I could open File IO and say FBX instead. There we go. And now, if I run this, it'll actually run all of these steps. It'll export it to the processed version and the FBX version. If I open up FBX, I can see export type is all objects. This can be useful, but it also gives you all of your cameras, your markers, your gaps, everything like that. So what I want to do is I'm going to create my own operation that selects the bones in the scene and then exports it to FBX. So let me remove this, right click, remove operation. There we go. And I'm going to go ahead and press new. Here we go. So now what I want to do is I'm going to save this out beforehand just to make sure. Export FBX and save. There we go. So now I want to make a script that actually selects all of these bones and then save it over here. So if I open up my script editor, there's a handy tool called Record Actions. This makes making a script very easy. It's just going to take whatever your action is in here and copy it here. And I want to make it very simple, so it's going to select all of the bones. So if I go up to my object section, go to my select by type, if I click this top bar, I can actually pull this out. So I'm going to go ahead and press record, and then press solving bone. You can see now that I have select by type solving bone. This is going to be my script. So if I go ahead and save this, select solving, save. I'm going to refresh here. I'm going to press add operation. If I go to my document, I can see select solving. Press OK. And now that operation is here. I've now copied over and saved this export FBX with this pipeline operation. Next thing I want to add is that export to FBX that we just saw. If I press add operation, File IO, export FBX, press OK. There I have it. It's going to select the solving skeleton and it's going to export the FBX. When I click on this, I want to make sure that I'm exporting selected objects, not all objects. There we go. And I want to make sure to append something to it. We'll do underscore export. Last thing I want to point out is if you start adding in operations and you want to change their order, you can actually move them up and down with these tools. So now what I'm going to do is let this run. If I press this button here, it's going to run all pipeline operations listed in this pipeline. There we go. I've selected the bones and then I've exported FBX.